is on the boil again. And this time, it is its own people. Look at these images. They're from Tel Aviv. Thousands of people have been protesting here for days, armed with drums, slogans, and flags. It's the same story in city after city.
Hello, everybody. I hope you all are having a beautiful day. It was in the year of 2022 in the reign of Biden when these visions and dreams came to me. I am going to talk about three dreams and a vision. First, I'm going to talk about the two dreams about the sun. I was walking around in a neighborhood, minding my business, and what seemed like fire was raining from the sky. The fire that was great, magnificent in stature like the sun was coming towards me like a fireball. It was headed straight towards me. I tried to run, but I couldn't move anywhere. The fireball was coming and coming and coming. The inevitability of it was that it looked like it was going to demolish me in the earth. But as it got closer, I then saw a beautiful face on it with a smile. It had stopped right in front of me. I was terrified, of course, but then it reassured me and gave me confidence and started swaying back and forth. And then I started swaying back and forth. And then in another dream that I had, I looked up and there was a beautiful moon in the sky. And when I looked back down, it was one man, but it appeared to be many. It was like legion, and it was running around super fast, making the earth spin somehow. The earth was spinning and spinning and spinning, and the moon flew down quick, that magnificent moon. Well, I turned to the left, or I turned to a different direction, and saw a huge sun coming over the hill, the biggest sun that I'd ever seen, and it was huge and magnificent. And then I woke up. Well, another dream I'd had was this huge fiery sun was coming over the hill, and it was huge, as if it was the continuation of the other dream. And there was this huge beam of fire that was coming, just nothing but fire. I couldn't see anything. It was coming towards me like, and before it got to me, there was a huge stone with eyes on it that raised up out of the ground, and the fire smacked the stone and went all around me. And then I woke up. Okay. This next one is a vision I'd had. I was sitting somewhere, minding my business, doing what I normally do, and all of a sudden, I seen a vision of a man on fire, complete fire, but not full size, as if it was just like a vision that I was seeing right in front of me. And when I went to go say, I rebuke thee, because I had no idea what it was, my body went dumb and I couldn't talk. So then the being looked at me, and it had a solid gold crown on, pure gold. Well, as I was sitting there, just sitting there, I saw the being turn around and give this huge sword to a child. And then as he gave the sword to the child, I came to and everything just went away. So today I wanted to talk to you all about the current situation, what's going on with human nature. And then after that, I like to talk to you all about reconciling or healing oneself and moving forward in life. I've been in the Church of God all my life. I've had the scriptures from the foundation of the world. Before I was formed, I was learning about scriptures. I was in my mother's womb listening to church, if you will. They say the baby picks up on the emotions of the woman, the mother. Well, even after I was born, all I knew was the Church of God. We were deep into the scriptures, the Old Testament. We learned about the prophets. We learned about the stones, the pillars, the scriptures. I learned about human nature, and so there was a duality about me. I had the Spirit of God deep within. I knew all the scriptures already, and then I mixed into the world, and so I learned human nature and I learned the world. The thing about what mankind is doing is that we are following along a script and have no idea where it comes from. I'm not specifically talking about the Bible. I'm talking about human nature or a spirit of something. Every day in my life, I see people do things that are counterproductive over and over and over constantly, whether it be vain words or whether they do something that is completely stupid. I will see men in movies and actually a few times in real life, not dealing with death, but in movies where men say, I have to honor something, so I must do it and die. Or I'll see men say, go ahead, I'll stay back and fight them off while you gain some traction. And then the team never gains traction, and then that person just dies. We do certain things in life that are counterproductive to reality. Another thing I'm seeing in this day and age that comes from the days of old is false religion. When dealing with the Revelation, that is a book of spiritual symbols, a book of symbols that a man wrote a long time ago that then got turned into physical religion, physical teachings, physical lores and magic. Okay, that has been very dangerous and continues to grow into a tree of destruction and hatred, us versus them, if it isn't hewn down. Okay, what I see people do in everyday life is extremely foolish. I'll see two men come together in something like Speaker's Corner, argue about what they believe religion is, and yet I see people doing that everywhere. One thing I can say that I'm astonished that America did, North America, the United States, was have a separation between religion and church and state. That's good because then you have two entities that can govern each other. If the government starts to act crazy, the church gets involved. If the church starts to act crazy, the FBI and government gets involved. It's like they're separate, so they have freedoms. But yet, if either one gets out of control, the reason I say the church is because if you look at the institution of America with racism, segregation, and slavery in the past, those preachers and them churches got her done. They was out there preaching on the front lines trying to save the world. Them African Americans was out there using the name of God to save the world. So what I'm saying is basically, and just like when like the Church of Jim Jones and all these psychopathic churches arise and are resurrected, then the government and the FBI get involved and shut that down. We call them cults. You see what I mean? And so it's good to govern ourselves. It's good to have a governance over ourselves without having totalitarian fascist power, because then there's a checks and balances. That's why I like the way the American justice system is set up, to where you have the three different branches. But the problem is there's the institution of certain us versus them in terms of color and racism that have enveloped the world that cause people to still be oppressed. A system of the rich versus the poor, a system of healthcare versus the sick. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is mankind needs to take a step back, understand the things that we're saying and doing, and then go from there, change ourselves, change our lives. You know, I could get into that Bible and show you guys all type of scriptures that talk about how it's better to be a healthy person. It's better to be a loving person. At the end of this video, I actually want to read some Proverbs and stuff and some Ecclesiastics to show you guys that there's a balance in life. And what people have done over time is that they have taken wise words of wisdom and philosophy and turned them into magical religion. One problem that I have with Christianity, and it gets on my everlasting nerves, is that no matter what, is that all the time, all you guys talk about is the end times. When all the prophets and even Jesus talked about, stop talking about the times. You guys aren't doing nothing but creating sociopaths, religious psychopaths, and people that basically think that the world's going to end over and over and over and over again. You guys have been talking about the end times since I was a baby, outside of the Bible. I went to the Church of God, and even they was talking about the end times. Guys, I believe people have been talking about the end times since the beginning. You know what that is? You're just basically spiraling the same words over and over and over, lying to yourselves. The world's going to end one day, just not forever. When I say that, I'm basically saying, so if every day of my life I just keep talking about how the world's going to end, that makes me nutty. You're not living your life. You're trying to end it subtly and don't realize it. Christianity has some cultic, dangerous language in it. First of all, in Christianity, when saviors do come, they get killed. In Christianity, when everybody's a false prophet and people are all evil. You guys have to be careful with the lines of code that you're picking up on, because you're destroying yourselves and not realizing how or why. If I'm a man and I learn from Christians, now when I go out here and try to interact with the world, everybody's evil and the devil's everybody. That's basically the type of tower that you all are building. Instead of creating the world to be a loving, peaceful institution, instead of creating a world where I am loved, I am happy, I am at peace. Oh, I got to sacrifice. Oh, I'm the devil. Oh, I'm this and that. Oh, I'm evil. I got to change. I'm a lamb that has that. You're a God. You are a God. All of you are. You all are in control of your own destinies outside of the natural or random events that happen. You're the gods of your own destiny. You have your own wills. That's why when I see people talking about the will of God over and over and over, they are playing a mind game with a word that even comes from Germanic pagans, because even in the ancient times, you couldn't say their God's name because he lived on the inside. It was the Lord of hosts. And all of the prophets said the same thing. No longer will we talk about the Lord of hosts. No longer will we observe times, because what you guys are doing is you're creating rituals. You guys think they're cute in this day and age, but not knowing that these same rituals from the past were demonic and dark. That's why they're saying stop putting God's name. God is Easter. God is Christmas. God is this and that. You guys are mixing two different institutions that used to fight each other and now creating a beast out of it. So if you want to observe Christmas, okay, but then when you get into churches and say this is God's holy day and you're transgressing it, that's when you're creating lies. I'm telling you, you are, and you all are being foolish with it. Like, okay, I'll give you an example. I'll see a man that's like, Christianity doesn't accept gay people, so we're going to make Christianity into loving gays. Okay, think about what you're doing. That book has a problem with homosexuality. So what I'm telling you is, why follow the book? Why deal with the book? Why mess with the book? There's all types of books and spiritual teachings and things out here that can help you and put you in a better place. So when somebody comes up to me and be like, Jesus is okay with gays, you can't be gay for God. Why are you doing that? Why not just go be gay and happy and do whatever it is that you're going to do that's going to strengthen you? That's like me going into a book that their God is Kalufa la mama, and Kalufa mama says being black is an abomination. So me as a black man goes into that book all the time. Well, there's other scriptures that show me peace and love, so maybe Kalufa mama loves me too. What are you doing? Find what you're into. I have rebuked the Bible a long time ago. Do you know why? Because it's full of death, murder, and violence, and us versus them, and allegiance to darkness. But then in other places it says love, love, love. So we're going to mix it together. You got, first of all, every single prophet has an individual God. I'm just being honest with you. The Lord of hosts is different with everybody. Nobody's the same. It's like RNG, random number generator. So then what you guys are doing is taking all these different men, putting it together and making it a single God that's creating schizophrenia and delusions. I promise you it is. Each of these men are individually talking about their own vision. So I can go into each of these different prophets and then talk about their God as the God, and then fight other people who talk about Jeremiah's God as the God, or Michael's God as the God, or the tribe of Dan's God as the God, or the Hebrews' God. You see what I'm telling you all? Or Moses' God is the God of gods. I'm telling you all, it's a catch-22. It's a 404 whose error is going to be found over and over and over, like the covenant rainbow in the sky. This book's going to cause you all to melt down if you don't read it properly or worship properly. That's why I tell everybody it's dangerous. You need to be careful. Even the very beginning scriptures warn people that the serpent slithered into the garden and pretended to be God. And so if God's name is I am who I am, the serpent's in the mind trying to pretend to be God, creating terrorism, destruction, racism, hatred, and all these other things. And then people will say it's God. Confused, right? That's where the confusion is coming into play. This book is a book of confusion, magic spells that's causing people to fight in war over and over and over again, because they're not picking up on the right wording. I've told you all before, the Bible is like a projective test in psychology. And whatever words you pick up on, that's what you've been built on. So if a man comes up to me saying, God is peace, love, happiness, and humility, okay, cool, dude. You're full of peace, love, happiness, and humility. That took God's name out the equation. But then if you come up to me and say God wants us to destroy the sinner, and sinners are going to go to hell and they're evil and blah, 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 you just ignored the very beginning of the Bible to begin with. Then you went even further and started speaking curses into existence. I hear all these preachers saying, you're not supposed to speak curse words and F and damn and hell and shit and all those other words. Those aren't curse words. Curse words are when you speak destruction onto somebody and put it into their soul. Fear not those who could destroy the body and spirit in hell. Because when you speak something into existence, then it goes into somebody's heart and then they start to believe it. I'm telling you all how this works, but a lot of people won't believe me and call me the devil. Telling you all, woe to the man that the scribes and Pharisees called a man a devil and let their children be their judges. They're in Israel right now fighting still. So what I'm trying to get you all to understand is those same people aren't here that was here a long time ago, but the spirit of something is still here fighting for those holy lands and holy temples. Isn't that what the Crusades was? I'm telling you all, it's the spirit of destruction that keeps living in every generation. That's going to be a covenant in the sky for those who want to play around with it. So that book is a book of humbling. I'd rather somebody actually get into that book and be humbled than somebody go be a drug dealing terrorist psychopath. So, but then not realizing that book can turn somebody into a drug dealing serial killer psychopath if that's what was in their heart to begin with. That's why it says that you should have that's why you should have a relationship with God from the foundation of the earth, from a child. You have children, teach them positive things. Whether you say God or Hashem, it's the words you use to raise that child up. You see what I'm saying? So it's not the religion. Actually, it is the religion, because religion is nothing more than the words that you use to build somebody, their spirit, their temple. Think of religion like a bunch of stones and building blocks. Think of the builder like the God that they possess, or the man around them teaching them. And then think of the person that just got built as the temple. That's what religion is, basically. You're programming and grooming people. You guys like to use grooming when talking about the LGBTQT, not realizing people are groomed all the time, not knowing what the hell they're talking about. So, one thing I can tell people, if I am going to give people a part of my temple, love who I am with all your heart, body, and soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. Religion that is pure is helping the orphan and the widow and the homeless and the sick and the veterans. Making sure people are okay. I'm not teaching you all to be Superman. I'm basically saying that if you got like $100 in your pocket and dollar bills, and you see a homeless dude on the corner, what's it to give him $1, or what's it to buy somebody something? But at the same time, I'm not teaching you all to do that, because people can be robbed, hurt, raped, anything. This is a cold world we live in. So like I said, it's all about discernment and just being a kinder person if you can, and doing what you can to build people up. Like I said, I'll get into the book of karma and give people teachings talking about how treat others the way you want to be treated. You know what I mean? And don't judge people because you don't know what's going on the inside, and they could be going through a journey and could be having a lot going on, and you don't know nothing. You just know what you see right then and there. You don't know all the hardships and the hard times. I'll see people get on my comments and just be ha 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 and leave all type of, comments. And basically, when I say comments, I'm saying like nonchalant, unaware, in the clouds, happy comments. And then their problems are like minuscule to me. I'm not going to lie. There are people out there who are tortured, who have been molested, raped, hurt, culticized, in cults, beat, tortured, castrated, enslaved. So when I get on here and say I'm here for the lost sheep, I'm not playing no fucking games. You all can hear me say that word, say he cursed, he's the devil. Okay. And then call me the devil and play with real curses. You see what I'm saying? Y'all don't know what you're talking about. And y'all keep creating these evil spirits, keep creating this calamity, keep creating this. People are bad, 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 bad. And when you all are met with bad psychopaths, you're going to continue to say, but the devil. So then, in actuality, you just told on yourself. The devil did cause those things to happen. Mankind who don't know how to shut the hell up and cause people terror and torment on the inside. You all keep talking about magic and miracles. Those were nothing more but false prophets and devils from ancient days who were playing with chemistry and science and lying to people. I'm just telling you all the truth. As I've told you, I can't do magic. Nobody out there can do magic. And if people can do magic, they have been in hiding and are of another institution. Magic isn't real. None of that stuff is real. Those miracles and all those things. Jesus, out of his own mouth, out of that book, said, he who observes they observe the times, wicked. They play with magic, wicked. They're false prophets, wicked. They do all these things, and then they go into Catholicism. Are y'all going to play with me and say that's not the dreadful beast? You go into a Catholic church and there's idols and crosses and that. One thing Christianity does, Greece, you all celebrate deaths of things. You all don't celebrate the life of Jesus. You all don't celebrate the life of God, the life of anything. You all celebrate the death and murder of the 10 plagues and the 10 commandments. They die, plague, plague, plague. Then y'all go to Jesus, death, 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 death. He died for our sins. So out of your mouth, what you're saying is God is destruction and torment and plagues. Then you're saying God is going to sacrifice people if they're his children. Y'all are acting like the demons. I'm telling you, you are. You're teaching children this. The Lord is sacrifice, death, death. He got slaughtered on a cross. Wear that cross on your neck. You going to teach people to go around wearing guns on their neck? Huh? Just like y'all taught people to wear chains on their neck? I don't know how you got the slave to be free and then wear chains on their neck. But hey, what can I say? What a wonderful kind of day where we can all learn to play and learn to laugh with each other. Don't sue me, PBS. But this is the world I was given. So I'm going to try with the best of my ability. A man once asked me, so you're going to get online and preach and not preach to the people out there in the world? Well, buddy, seems like a lot of negativity is going on online. I'm watching Peppa Pig videos of children from videos from Russia that looks like a cartoon, but Peppa Pig's doing detrimental things with light sockets and everything else. the demonology in humans. And they do it for fun. Do they do these things? So what can I say? So if the devil's going to attack the internet, I guess I'm going to get onto the internet and fight back. Or I could be a dumbass and go over to the Middle East, right? And then just go start preaching and get murdered for no reason. In vain would I waste my father's temple, right? So, yeah, I've been in this book since a child. So this book is my purpose. It's what drives me. So when I see this book causing people destruction, torment, and hell, I'm going to flip the script. And I'm going to teach mankind that it is better to not be born than to play with the temple that you were given. So you all want to become suicidal after hearing that? There's nothing I can do, because if the destructive heart of a man wants to be that way, I cannot force him to do anything. God gives free will. I am who I am. I give free will. And yet a man will take that free will and do destruction with it. So what can I do? So I hope you all can learn to have peace, love, mercy. I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. In perfect love, there is no fear and torment. Although those things exist, we seek to become better and learn better. So if I see a black person and get scared, maybe there's something wrong with me and my experience, and I should learn how to get help with that. If I see a white person and think and want to call them all types of names, maybe there's something on the inside of me and I should get help with that. If I see a woman dressed a certain way and the first thing I say is whore, or want to rape, or want to take advantage of her, maybe that's on the inside of me and I should get help with that. If I'm a woman and want to show my bust to everybody, but then use my vain mouth to say, men are sexuals, men are this, men are that, then maybe there's something wrong with your woman experience and you need to get help with that. Everything happens for a reason, cause and effect. And the more we continue to fight each other and act like we don't understand the balance of common sense, then we're going to continue to act like goofy, stupid animals. So I hope you all can have beautiful lives. I hope you all can enjoy some of these Proverbs and Ecclesiastes I'm about to read. When I read these, don't seek to get depressed, because it seems like King Solomon had a little bit of depression going on. So he went to explore and find things in the world. Am I saying that's evil? No. That's called learning oneself. So before anybody in Christianity or Islam wants to attack me, you might want to go back and learn from your ancestors and realize most of your, actually all your teachings came from Egypt, the 42 laws of Ma'at. But I don't seek to go back to Egypt because they had a lot of problems themselves. So I want to go into the future. Even if you look at mankind as a collective, humanity doesn't believe in slavery anymore, for the most part, especially in the Western world and these other world and part of the world. So we're becoming better. Remember, in the Bible, slavery was okay ancient thousands of years ago, and now it's not okay. See, things change. So let's become better. Let's become super conscious. Let's become sentience at a level higher than what we have gained already. Stay beautiful and stop attacking each other. And if you are homosexual or something, stop tormenting yourself trying to find purpose in the Bible. Look for something that gives you purpose. Like, stop going up to people. If you are gay for God, what I'm telling you is the brain is like a supercomputer. You putting all these, there's a scripture that says, he who swears falsely on this scroll is going to be given over to the curses. You guys know that there's scriptures that say gay is abomination, lie with mankind's abomination. You guys know that there's scriptures that say a man that is like a familiar spirit with a woman is to be put to death. So why do you go in there and then go play around with it and argue with other people who are Christian and other people who are violent like that? Leave them people alone. That's their building blocks. That don't even make them violent. When I hear scriptures like laying with mankind's abomination, I don't then seek to go, you're abomination, you're abomination. That's my building block. That's simply telling me that I like women. I was made to like women. So when I say that book's for me with certain things, yes, that book's for me. So if you are like, I also hear people be like, I'm into the Bible, but I'm gay, but I'm confused and tormented and all these other things. Then go read a book about philosophy or karma. Stop hurting yourself. When you play baseball, you don't take the baseball bat. Okay, I use a baseball bat called the Bible, and the ball I'll call the devil. Okay, when you go up to hit the ball, use a baseball bat called New Age philosophy or all these other things, and then swing at your ball. Because what you're doing is you're picking up a bat called the Bible, playing with the words in the Bible, and then what you're doing is instead of hitting the ball, you're taking the bat and going pow and smacking yourself in the face with it. So if there was a book called LGBTQT Philosophy, I'm not going to go into LGBTQT philosophy and be like, I got to live by all these rules, because it's not for me. So then I go to something that's for me and learn and grow from that. Does that make sense? So you all will be like, you're not making sense because you're saying the Bible has all these murderous words in it. Okay, dude, the Bible says all that, but did I say I worship the Bible? Oh, you see me dissecting the book? I worship what's in my heart. My heart's pure, so I don't, let me take that back. See, with every vain word. Some of you all need the New Testament, so that's why I'm coming to rearrange a couple of things. I'm playing Legos or Tetris, if you will, removing some of the old lines so that new lines can form. And then when I am too old, and when however long in the future, when they do achieve super sentience or whatever it is that humanity is going to achieve, whatever, and every other creature of being out there, science and technology is an amazing thing, then I can be moved out of the way. You see what I'm saying? Like, so stay beautiful, stay humble, help the weak, because one day you're going to be weak and your own conscience can do a number on you if you're not careful. So, but at the same time, I am no holier than thou man, and we are humans. So push not a man to wrath. Like I told you all, we all have emotions and feelings. And one thing I'm sick and tired of seeing is telling men that they cannot cry, they cannot express emotions, and teaching men that they are gay if they are soft. You all are playing with an effeminate spirit, and you're going to cause people to either turn something they're not, or you're going to turn them into hard, cold psychopaths. So stay blessed and keep it 100 and stay strong. Hello, everybody. I hope you all are having a beautiful day. I just want to stick a little bit from Ecclesiastes to the back of this for all of you holier than thou. If you don't do what I say, you're not going to get into heaven, people. Follow along. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under the sun, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest, there's a time to reject certain things, and I do not believe there is a time to kill. I believe in that there is a time to self-defense. I believe there is a time to defend. And also, I guess we do kill certain animals to eat. So a time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build up. A time to cry and a time to laugh. A time to grieve and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to turn away. A time to search and a time to quit searching. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be quiet and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. What do people really get for all of their hard work? I've seen the burden that God has placed on all of us. And yet God has made everything beautiful for its own time. He has planted eternity in the human heart. But even so, people cannot see the whole scope of my work from beginning to end. So I concluded that there is nothing better than to be happy and enjoy ourselves as long as we can. And people should eat and drink and enjoy the fruits of their labor. These are gifts of who I am. And I know whatever I do is final. Nothing can be added to it or taken from it. My purpose is that people should fear him. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. What is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before. So when I say a fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, I do not mean torment and fear and punishment. I'm saying fear of not being within the Lord because of some of the spirits that exist in the world. And once again, disclaimer, spirits are not magical to me, although they are. When I say that, I'm simply saying being vexed or seduced by something. Soothsayers, magic, magicians, lies. They call it spelling because the literal wording and or words you use can cast a spell on you if you are not careful. When I say that, I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about the type of beliefs, lores, teachings, our building blocks. because I make the same things happen over and over. I also notice under the sun there is evil in the courtroom. Yes, the courts of law are corrupt. I said to myself, in due season I will judge everyone, both good and bad, for all their deeds. I also thought about the human condition, how I prove to people that they are like animals. For people and animals share the same fate. For all of you people that say animals don't have souls, all you people that say humans are going to some magical fairyland, both breathe and both must die. So if humans go to heaven, so do animals. How meaningless. Both go to the same place, and they came from dust, and to dust they will return. So when it is written, the serpent will grovel on the dust all of his life, that is nothing more than saying that the spirit of torment, the devil, and lies, will basically consume people if they do not give to who I am, the Lord, God, peace, love, tranquility. Sometimes things are chemical. Sometimes people have imbalances. Some things exist for a reason. Science, human nature. But what I am saying is it is our job to battle these things like the hero. Who can prove that the human spirit goes up and the spirit of the animal goes down? So I saw that there is nothing better for people than to be happy in their work. That is our lot in life, and no one can bring us back to see what happens after we die. Oh preacher, oh false prophet, oh beast, oh the Satan, the liar, the deceiver. No one can judge on behalf of who I am, because the bigger I am, the bigger picture, is the one who will judge the universe, so to speak. So, hope you all can enjoy.